Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown. I am back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. But it's not cider, it's something quite different. I mean, it starts off as cider, but then it becomes something else. What are you talking about, you nutter? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these three little bottles. We have, from Fowey Valley, more samples. This little bottle of Pommeau, there's a pretty little thing. This little bottle of brandy, 1-year-old brandy I believe. There's a pretty little thing. And, for some reason I'm most excited about this. A little bottle of Eau de Vie. It's a bit brighter, there you go, Eau de Vie. So it's a bit blurry, but if I do that, oh there you go, oh, whoa. Anyway, so I'm going to try these three things from Fowey Valley. Tasting spirits is a bit, I find it's a bit tricky. There's a lot more going on. It's like, the alcohol can mask so many things, so I'm going to give it a go. I've tried spirits on here before and it's gone very, very well, but I'm going to try three at once. Well, not the Pommeau. I feel like I should start with the Pommeau because it's the lowest ABV, it's 20%. The Eau de Vie is 40%, and I imagine the brandy's also, brandy's also 40%. So let's read what it says on the back. It says nothing on the back, it's a sample. Oh, here we go. A blend of our Eau de Vie and apple juice. So that is that, blended with apple juice. Their own apple juice, I assume. And that gets put in a barrel and turns into that. So you're getting this colour from the oak, and I assume it's got micro-oxygenation as well. But this is only 1 year old. It's not very long. 1 year is quite a short amount of time, so it'll be interesting to see what 1 year old actually does to make a difference. I mean, it obviously makes a visible difference, but how much of a difference it makes in the palate, I don't know. You know what? No, I'm going to try this last. I'm going to try this last. I'm going to try these first. I'm going to try the Eau de Vie first. So let's do it. Let's do it. 50 centilitres. I'm not going to try all of that. I'm going to be pissed. Right. There we go. Laid a little bit of Eau de Vie in my glass. So obviously, no colour. It's pure alcohol. Not pure alcohol. That's what stuff looks like when it comes out. It's got that the wrong way around. When it comes out of a still. Absolutely white. Well, clear. Totally clear. No opacity whatsoever. It's what you do to it afterwards that brings the colour. So there you go. Obviously not sparkling, nobody's sparkling. Fizzy spirits. Maybe that's a thing. Dragon's Den. I'm in. Right, let's have a smell. Oh, lovely nose. Fruity. Now I have lots of good memories of Eau de Vie because I've spent a lot of time travelling to cheesemakers in France, in the Alps and that part of the world, and they all make their own Eau de Vie. So all my experience of Eau de Vie, a lot of it, is sitting in chalets, high in mountains, with cheesemakers drinking the Eau de Vie that they've made. You know, sometimes at like 6 in the morning because it's cold and Eau de Vie makes sense at that time of day. So Eau de Vie to me is an exciting product because I associate it with exciting places and times. So this has got a lovely nose. It's got almost got like a, not marzipan, but there's hints of kind of like almost like caster sugar or icing sugar about it on the nose. You can smell the alcohol. Storm Dudley's battering my shed. Still, if you watch the Castle Door tasting, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, lovely, rich, sweet. It doesn't really smell of apple. Or maybe it does. Maybe it does. But apple blossom or something like that, I want to say. And you can feel the booze. And it's like almost like an icing sugar character to it. There's almost like a minerality to it as well on the nose. It's a strange thing to say. Like, can you smell mineral? You can't, I don't suppose, but yeah, we like the nose. We like the nose. I can feel the heat just from smelling it. Let's taste it. Yep. That's 40%, all right. But I'll tell you what. I mean, I probably had too big a swig then. But I needed to get enough in the glass to get the aromatics. Look at the legs on that. Don't you can see the legs on that running down? That's how viscous it is through the high alcohol level. That's what gives it those legs. I like that. I like that. I really do. It's kind of simple, but there is a sweetness to it. That almost like baking product sweetness, like I mentioned, almost like an icing sugar sort of sweetness to it. It's great. Lovely texture, warming, rich. maybe the merest hints of apple, but I feel there's more of like a floral character to it or something, which I really like. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's see what happens when you put that in a barrel for a year, and then call it brandy. So they do a 2 year as well. I mean, I like the younger brandy from Borough Hill. The 5 year over the 10 year. I actually like it better. There's more apple character to it, I think. I mean, there's more dark fruits and stuff in the 10 year. I like the freshness and the apple character of the 5 year. I feel like I want to get some of that apple character because it's made, because of its origins. It's made from apples, Let's see how this compares. So 1 year, I don't know if it's going to be harsh or what. After only 1 year, I mean, I assume they wouldn't release it if they didn't feel it was releasable. But actually, if that's the base product and that's pretty drinkable, this should certainly be drinkable as well. Maybe it's a little softer with a bit more complexity. Let's have a smell. Well, actually, colour first. There you go. You can see that sort of slightly. I mean, it's gold. It's not got like a dark sort of toffee colour. It's a nice gold, quite a rich gold. Smells quite similar. It smells quite similar, but there is a hint of. Maybe I want to say vanilla. Maybe I do want to say vanilla. I don't know how new the barrels are that this goes into, but if it goes into new barrels, I would expect to get some hints of vanilla about it. I think I am getting that in this. Maybe a suggestion of like toffee or something as well, but very delicate. It's not that far removed from the Eau de Vie, but there's certainly something. There's a little bit more going on. I think that vanilla thing, that spicy vanilla thing, is. Yeah, I want to. That's the most distinctive thing I want to say. But underneath that, I'm still getting that kind of sort of rich kind of baking product sweetness and floral element. Yeah, and maybe a hint of. I want to say a hint of banana as well. Maybe slightly green banana, but yeah. So let's try it. I'll try not to cough everywhere this time. Okay. Now I don't know if it's because I'd already had a swig of spirit, so that one didn't seem quite so because I've already had something that was quite so the second time it doesn't feel quite so aggressive. There is a hint of toffee about this. There absolutely is. There's a hint of vanilla about this. There absolutely is. It's delicate. It's easy drinking. It's not the most complex brandy you've ever had, but it's only 1 year old. But it's tasty. I mean, I have to see what the price point is to really get an idea as to, how much value I think there is in it. But if it's not too expensive, comparatively speaking, we're looking at like 50 quid for like the Borough Hill 5 and 10 year. So this is actually, see what the price point is. It's tasty. It's delicate. It'd be a good mixer for sure if you want to make some like cocktails with it. Absolutely. It's not as complex as the Borough Hill, but I wouldn't expect it to be after 1 year. But the base Eau de Vie was so good, I expect that to be drinkable, and it is absolutely drinkable. My door is blowing open now. Dudley's going crazy. Did I say Duncan before? It's Dudley. The storm. It's called Dudley. What a strange sentence. Right. Let's go for this 20% Pommeau. So this is the brandy mixed with apple juice. It doesn't say which brandy it is, whether it's the 1 year or the 2 year. But just about the colour, I'm guessing it's probably going to be 2 year because it's about the same colour as that. Although I haven't said that, the apple juice is going to have some colour in it. So that's nonsense. Yeah, don't know. Let's give it a taste. So I'm going to... This is up against the Borough Hill Pommeau. Yeah. Which is basically their brandy blended with apple juice. Same process. But they've called this one Pommeau. In the French style. Pommeau. There you go. Colour-wise, quite similar to the... actually, maybe a little bit more colour than the brandy, actually. Because the apple juice had quite a lot of colour. Yeah. Smell. I mean, that's got the fruitiest nose by some margin, but it's got apple juice in, so you'd expect it to have a bit more sort of fruit character. Really ripe fruit as well. Really ripe fruit, and there's almost like a eucalyptus thing going on, which I like a lot, actually. maybe a hint of that sort of green banana again. There's much fruity in this. Nice nose, actually. I really like the nose. Yeah, hint of ripe apple, green banana, sort of suggestion of eucalyptus as well. Me like the nose in that a lot. I like the nose in this a lot. Let's try it. Still packs a bit of a punch. Quite warming. But yeah, much more gentle. Half the alcohol. Really fruity. I think the nose is falling through in the palate. I'm getting hints of that banana again. It's made me think of banoffee pie, actually. I think there's hints of toffee in there as well. Definitely little bits of apple. Like I want to say like golden syrup. Element of golden syrup about it as well. Just subtly, but it's there. Yeah, very drinkable. I'd be interested to see what the price point on this is as well, because that is really drinkable. Again, I don't think there's quite as much going on as with the Pommeau from Burrow Hill, but they're using different apples. They're using cider apples. These guys are using dessert apples, which will give you a very different drink. This is lighter, sweeter, more delicate, more simpler in some ways, but I kind of like the simplicity because I can taste the component parts more. Hints of maybe hints of vanilla in there as well. In fact, yeah, hints of vanilla. It's made me think of vanilla custard, actually, for some reason. Maybe banana custard. Maybe that's a thing, and that's a great thing from my childhood. Yeah. These are really interesting, and I'm going to look at the pricing, and if I think the pricing is good, I think I'd like to sell these, because I think they're pretty darn good. And I really like, I mean, the Brandy's great, but I think the things that bookend it, these two things, are the things I like the most, actually. That's not the Brandy. I just feel like these two, for some reason, yeah, they're just tickling me a little bit more than the Brandy. And I like being tickled by Brandy. Anyway, thank you for joining me in my shed for quite a long tasting, but I was tasting 3 things, so it's quite complicated, blah, blah, blah. I hope you join me again. But until that time, cheers.